They think my mind is a ship that sails far away. Some of those people in my own district, I see them in the corner of my eye. After I help them grow, they're thinking me is the one now blocking progress. So they treat me like old man already and think I don't notice when a sentence cut short because the rest of it not meant for me. That I don't notice that phones come to the ghetto for talking, but not to me. That I don't notice they leave me alone. Man in the ghetto making power move because politicians now have a different vision. Word seem to get out that I don't like the sight of blood no more. 2 years ago, 2 things happened to me in 1 week. First, I shoot up a liquor upstart in jungle. Word was that certain boy was getting uppity again, selling their own weed and partying with PNP boy like we signed peace treaty or something. Me grab a Rudy to make an example. But the Rudy wasn't dressed in khaki because he was tougher than tough or some brigadista back from Cuba. The boy was on him way to Arden High School. Boy fall on one knee, then sideways, and roll on him back before I see the school tie. I don't remember how much man fall because of me, and I don't care too much either. But that one is one thing when you kill a man and he just dead. Is another thing when he too close when you shoot him and he grab you and you see him the way he looking at you. He might frighten as fuck because death is the scariest monster. Scarier than anything you dream up as a picnic, and you can feel it like a demon swallowing you slow. Big mouth, swallowing your toes first, and the toes go cold. Then the feet, and the feet go cold. Then the knee, then the thigh, then the waist. And the little boy grabbed me shirt and bawling, "No, no, no, it coming up on me. No, no, no." And he grabbed you hard, harder than he ever gripped anything. Because maybe if he put all the strength, all the will in just those 10 fingers on a living thing, maybe he can hold on to life. And he inhale like he's sucking in the world and scared of breathing out more than anything. Because if he exhale, he might breathe out all the life he got left. "Shoot the boy again," Josie Wales say. But I couldn't do nothing but look. Josie walk over to me, put the gun to him forehead, and pow! That caused a new eruption. Everybody know that Papa low hard, especially if you thief or rape woman. But nobody ever called me wicked before. Not like the boy mother, who walked all the way to the front of me house screaming about how her boy was a good boy who loved him mother and go to school where he just passed 6 GCE subject and was going to get scholarship to university. She said that when God come, he gonna have a special punishment for a little nigger Hitler like me. She screamed for her son and for Jesus to intervene before Josie Wales gun butt her in the back of the head and leave her in the road, her skirt flying up every time the wind blow. One time the singer said to me, "Papa, how you get to be top ranking when you worry so much?" I didn't tell him that to be on top is to worry. Once you climb to the peak of the mountain, the whole world can take a shot. I know the singer know that plenty people hate him. But I wonder if he know what shape that hate take. Every man have something to say, but the real hater's blacker than him. Bossman in the court saw him read every single thing ever written by Eldridge Cleaver and gone and get himself a big fucking degree, only to have that little half-white short ass become the voice of black liberation. This is who is the Jamaican public face #1? Him can read? Bossman, who just come back from New York and Miami, said what a public relations disaster for the country. Customs stopped him twice, asking if he in a reggae band, and what's that smell coming from his suitcase? Ganja? Bossman, who owned a hotel on the North Coast, said that fucking white bitch drinking a daiquiri with an umbrella in her glass just asked him how often he wash him hair, and if every Jamaican is a Rasta, even though him clearly have good hair that him comb every day. Then she leave $50 on his desk and her room key. I tell the singer one time, that I don't think I ever sense in the spirit so many bad forces with so much power lined up against one man as the forces lined up against you. And he say, the devil got no power over me. The devil come and me shake hands with the devil. Devil has his part to play. Devil is a good friend too, because when you don't know him, that's the time he can mash you down. I said to him, brethren, you're like Robin Hood. He say, but me never rob from a man in me life. I said, brethren, neither did Robin Hood. But evil force and Samford force rising in the night. The singer smart. Him is friend with me, and him is friend with Shatter Sheriff. The singer reason with me, and he reason with Shatter. Not together. That would still be madness. But he reason with we the same way. If Puss and Dog can live together, why we can't love one another? No so just say. But Puss and Dog don't want to live together, me tell him. But then me think about it hard, and come with another reasoning. When Dog killed Puss and Puss killed Dog, the only one happy is the Jonquil. And the Jonquil been waiting for this all its life. The vulture, with him red head and white feather chest and black wings. The Jonquil in Jamaica House. The Jonquil at the Constant Spring Golf Club, who want to invite him to them pretty party, know that he too big to look away from, and push roast pork in him face, and tell him how they've been thinking about doing the reggae, like the reggae is the bumbleclad twist, and ask him if he meet a real star yet, like Engelbert Humperdinck. Still, evil force and Samford force rising in the night. Especially a hot night like this, too hot for December. All certain man can think about is who have and who have not. Me on the veranda with no light on. I look out from my house, and the road quiet. Nothing but Lovers Rock coming from the bar further down the road. One slam, then two, then three. Somebody just win a domino game. I see the calm and hear the calm. I know the calm can't last. Not for me, not for him, not for Kingston, not for Jamaica. For 3 months now, 2 white men come to the ghetto along with Peter Nasser. One speak only English, one speak too much Spanish. They come to see Josie Wales, not me. A man can be top ranking all he want. When the politician make a new friend, that be the one they come to. I wonder what Josie say he will do that they me want. Josie's him own man. Never tried to control him then or now, not since the fall of Balaclava. Copenhagen City is a palace with 4 or 5 princes. Nobody ever wanted to be king before. But when the 2 new white men come to the ghetto, they come to my house to pay respects, but they leave with Josie Wales. And at the boundary, when I expect Josie to wave them off, he get in their car and say nothing about it when he come back. Josie go check him woman at 6:30 and leave her house in new ganzi and pants she get from the free zone. Then he leave. Me not his mother or his keeper. He don't have to tell me where him going. Shipment of guns gone missing on the wharf on the night he was missing too. Man in America sing, give peace a chance. But he not the American living here. I know Josie rounding up men to wipe out Rima once and for all. He don't know that I know that he burned down that tenement on Orange Street with the people in it and shoot up anybody who tried to put it out, including 2 firemen. 1966. No man who went in 1966 leave the way he come in. The fall of Balaclava take plenty, even those who support it. I did support, not quiet, but loud. Balaclava was a piece of shit that make you beg for the richness of a tenement yard. Balaclava was where women would dodge murder, robbery, and rape only to get killed by a cup of water. Balaclava get bulldozed down so that Copenhagen City could rise. And when the politicians come in after the bulldozers with their promises, they also demand that we drive all PNP man out. Before 1966, man from Denham Town and man from Jungle didn't really like each other, but they fight each other on the football field and the cricket pitch. And even when two boys get rowdy and a mouth get punched bloody, there was no war or rumor war. But then politicians come. Me welcome them, because surely better must come for we too. 1966. All this happened on the Sabbath day. Josie walking back to him yard from Mr. Miller locksmith shop where he learning a skill. He coming home to a street that never declared colors before. He didn't know that on the Friday before, politician come through saying close your mouth and fire your gun. They shoot him 5 times. 5th shot, he fall down on him face right in a puddle of nasty water. Everybody run, and those who didn't see and wait until a man come up on a bike and grab him and put him in front and try to hold him from slumping down while he ride to the clinic. A different man come out of that clinic 3 weeks later. Evil force and Samfrey force rising in the night. The singer tell me a story. How back when reggae was something only few people know, how white rock and roll star was him friend. You reggae dudes are far out, man. Pretty neat. You got any ganja? But as soon as the Natty Dread sing hit songs and break the Babylon Top 100, everybody start to treat him away. They like him better when he was the poor cousin that they can feel good for taking notice. I tell him that politicians do the same thing to me when they realize me can't read. In 1966, they carve up Kingston and never ask we what slice we want. So every land that hid midway on the boundary, Rima, Jungle, Rosetown, Lizardtown, they leave it to we to fight over. Me fight hard until me get tired. I raise the men who now run with Josie Wales, and nobody ever better than me. I swell Copenhagen City 2 times its size and eradicate robbery and rape from the community. This is election year, and nothing left now but war and rumor war. But tonight, I look from my veranda and the night keeping secret close. The veranda is wood, and it's long time it don't paint. My woman snore like a kicked donkey. But you grow to like the few things that never change. Tomorrow, some youths coming over here to talk about their own peace concert, since this one is PNP propaganda. The whole night almost gone, and the police eradication squad don't make one sweep yet. This make the night strange. Forget the people not used to full night sleep. Somewhere, somehow, especially a night hot like this, somebody going to pay for it.
Barry DeFlorio. What did you have for lunch today, Pop? A wamperer? Sure thing, sweetie. Pop, stop calling me that. Calling you what? Sweetie. I'm not a girl. You're not, huh? Don't have any girly parts? Nope. So I can't be a sweetie. You're my sweetie, though. Nope. Boys aren't sweet. That's girls. Girls are sweet. And icky. Kinda hard to argue with such rock-solid logic. I could write an article on the things I knew at 6 that I don't fucking know at 36. They are kinda icky, aren't they? But when you're 13, you're going to want to be with them all the time. No. Yeah. Will they like playing with my frogs then? Something like that. Anyway, it's a school night, honey. Pop! Sorry, I forgot that you're a little man now. It's a school night, buddy. So off you go. You too, Timmy. Aw, man. Babylon business, this. Excuse me? Nothing, Dad. That's what I thought. Go to bed, guys. Gee, neither of you kiss your pop anymore? They're grown men now. I noticed. Make sure you brush your teeth, both of you. My wife follows them. Where are you going? To brush my teeth, too. Very long day. Then again, every day in Kingston is kind of long, isn't it? I knew what she was doing. Amazing how women can use any opportunity to start up an argument, but especially moments like this, when you don't want to fight. But not fighting makes it seem like you don't care, so you say something nice or compliment her, which just makes her say that you're patronizing her, which of course just leads to the fight anyway. I'll be up. The phone rings. In a minute. She goes up the stairs, muttering something about the phone ringing when I'm home. Considering I forbid anybody calling here, not for business or pleasure, this is weird. Hello. $10 million and all you have to show for it is some occasional crap you have that faggot Sal Resnick write in the New York Times? William Adler. Bill. How's it hanging, Bill? To the left last time I wore boxers. They probably ration that shit where you are, huh? Really? Where am I? Some socialist utopia somewhere. Freedom worth the world's best pina colada? What, like in Cuba? You really think I'm in Cuba? That's your info? Don't make my respect for you sink any lower, Barry. So where are you? You're not going to ask how I got your number? Nope. Don't pretend it doesn't bother you. Buddy, I've got a bedtime story to read to my kids. This date of ours going somewhere good? What's your favorite seat at the circus? Know what I hate, Bill? People who answer a question with a question. The Jamaicans do it all the fucking time. Then put a trace on the call. I'll wait. No need. You might be overestimating your pull. Nah, I think I estimated my pull just about right. You're killing me, man. What do you want, Bill? Fetching some shit for Fidel? Maybe. But why would I call you? You haven't had access to good info since Montevideo. You seem to have nothing but good info these days. I guess. Pity about those 7 guys you had to send back. I mean, the company was always sloppy as wet shit, but Jesus. You endangered lives, son of a bitch. I endangered a 10 million budget. An awful lot of money for a little country like Jamaica. How are book sales going? Can't complain. Made the fiction bestsellers list yet? I've been watching. Nope. Racing up the how-to advice list, though. Nice. Listen, Bill, as much as I like this bogey and Bacall thing we got going here, I'm actually really tired. So what do you want? A few things. One, either call off the dipshits you've got tracking me, or get better people to do it. Nobody is following you as far as I know. Besides, had I, wouldn't I know where you are? Call them off, or stop insulting me by being so obvious. By the way, you might want to send some manpower out to Guantanamo to pick them up before the Cubans do. I'll leave you to guess where they are. 2, you might want to reconsider putting all that 10 million behind the JLP to deliver us from communism. Most of that is going to go into guns. The rest in, want me to deliver peace in the Middle East while we're at it? Oh, stick to your limited range of talents, Barry. 3, if you think those gunmen that you have Louis teaching to shoot are too stupid to shoot you, you're kidding yourself. Figured that'd be the only reason Louis Johnson would be in Jamaica. Blowback can be a motherfucker, buddy. Are you kidding? They were like little kids with Fisher-Price. My first real gun. So you are out there training boys. I wasn't quite sure. Sloppy, Barry, even for a by-the-book hack like you. I don't know what you're talking about. As for Louis, he's his own man. So you'll have to take up that business with him. What you got cooked up this time? I'm surprised you aren't somewhere where people are always on the up and up, like East Germany. What secret war do you have us hatching? Angola? Maybe we're starting something in Nicaragua. I hear Papua New Guinea is ripe for a socialist takeover any second now. You don't even know what socialism is. You're a trained monkey, set for point and shoot. That said, I'm wondering, What's Richard Lansing's son doing there? Trying to help you spite Daddy? I don't know what you're talking about. This is a secure line, Barry. Cut the bullshit. A prime minister that gives Kissinger the shits because he's on Castro's dick is about to be reelected. You sure about that? As sure as I know which school you send your kids to. Bill, don't fuck. Shut the fuck up, Barry. As I was saying, a prime minister who seems a little too ignorant that he's about to enter the Cold War is about to be reelected. Puts on a concert where the biggest star in the world, who just happens to be Jamaican, is performing. And of all the people in the world, who should come down to film the whole thing? Richard Lansing's own son. I'm no fan of either guy, but you got to admit how neat it all seems. Nice little conspiracy theory you've got cooking there. And just who was on the grassy knoll? You're forgetting something, aren't you? What's that? That Lansing resigned. In many ways, he's just a classier version of you. Both of you having a sudden attack of the liberal schoolboy conscience. I thought I was serving my country. No, you thought you were serving an idea. You wouldn't know how a real country works, even with written instructions. You trying to turn this into a class debate, Barry? How socialist of you. I'm not trying to start anything. I just want to go to bed. Instead, I'm stuck on the phone with either a man without a country or a man without a point. I just don't get how you guys think. Socialism is not fucking communism. It's an ism, though, that's for sure. Your problem, and it has always been your problem, Bill, is that you think you're hired to think, or that anybody gives a shit what you think. Lots of Jamaicans did. Yeah, I was here for your 2-week residency back in June, remember? Jamaicans don't give a shit about CIA policy. They don't even know the difference between the CIA and the FBI. No, lots of Jamaicans went batshit for a white man who let them off the hook because Roots just came on and surely nothing is ever their fault with evil whiteys running around. Give me a fucking break. Spoke to Nancy Welch lately? Why would I speak to Nancy Welch? Can't blame you. I mean, what do you say? Gee, Nancy, awful business me getting your brother and his wife offed in Greece. Hold the fucking line. You think I got the Welches killed? You and your little expose, your little trashy novel. He's not in the fucking book, you idiot. Not like I'm ever gonna read it. Really? You think I'm to be blamed for Welch? I overestimated you, Barry. I thought the company trusted you with more info than you've clearly got. I must be talking to the wrong man. Really? You're not the only one who's estimating just right. Louis Johnson is in West Kingston teaching young terrorists how to use automatic weapons. Same weapons that never arrived at the Kingston Wharf, so they were never stolen afterwards. You have no proof of that. The only man who ever had use for Louis was me in Chile. He wouldn't have been in the country for any other reason. Or Brian Harris, or whatever Oliver Patton is calling himself these days. You guys never smell blowback until it hits you in the face. Fucking Ivy Leaguers who never had to deal with people. My question is, why the fuck is the singer on your radar? What could he possibly do? Good night, Bill. Or hasta mañana, or luego, or whatever. I mean, really, what can he fucking do? Don't call me again, son of a bitch. Who's the son of a bitch calling you? My wife says. I didn't hear her come back in and don't know how long she's been there. She sits down on the couch that I'm standing behind, not looking at me or saying anything, but expecting an answer. I plug out the phone and go over to the bar where a half-empty Smirnoff and a bottle of tonic are waiting. You want a drink? Just brushed my teeth. That's a no, then. Sounds like you want to continue that little fight with me. She rubs her neck and takes off the necklace. If Jamaica wasn't so hot, she would never have cut her hair above her neck. Haven't seen her neck in years, and I miss kissing it. It's funny, that she would hate being here so much, because until Jamaica, I was so fucking afraid that she had become that woman I can't fucking stand, the one who doesn't feel any need to look attractive anymore. It's not that she was ever unattractive, or that I've ever been sorry, or that I've ever cheated on the woman, not even in Brazil. But not long ago, I toyed with leaving her, just to see if it would get her to wear lipstick again. She bitches about the country every day, every minute, more than likely in a minute or two. But she's wearing mini shirts and cut her hair like a page boy and is tanned like a Florida heiress. Maybe she's fucking somebody. I heard that singer gets around. Kids asleep? Pretending, at least. Haha. I sit down beside her. This is the thing about redheads, isn't it? No matter how long you've lived with them, you're always surprised when they turn and look straight at you. You've cut your hair. The heat here is unbearable. It's nice. It's growing back. I cut it 2 weeks ago, Barry. Should I go upstairs and tuck them in? It's 90 degrees, Barry. Good point. And it's December. I know. 1976, Barry. That I know, too. You said we'd only be here for a year, if not less, Barry. Baby, please. I cannot have 2 fights in the space of 2 minutes. I'm not fighting you. I'm barely talking to you as it is. If we leave. If we leave? What the hell, Barry? When did that change from a when? I'm sorry. When we leave, are you going to be happy anywhere else but Vermont? Maybe I should retire and live on your salary. Funny. I'm not having a fight with you. I'm just reminding you that a year is 12 months, and this is month 12. The kids will miss their friends. The kids don't have any friends. Barry? Yes, sweetheart. Don't overestimate how many choices you think you have. You have no idea how fucking tired I am of that goddamn word. She's not going to ask what I mean, preferring to let her sentence hang like that. Work, marriage. She's not being specific, because if she were, it would reduce the threat. I could ask what she means, and then she'll, 1, explain it to me like I'm some retard slow on the uptake, and 2, use it as a way to start a fight. I don't know how she thought her life was going to turn out, but I'm sick and tired of explaining it to her like I'm on some fucking TV show that has to bring the audience up to speed every week. In the preceding story, our erstwhile hero, Barry DeFlorio, the intrepid, dashing, charming, and hung hero, took his wife to the concrete jungle of Jamaica on a mission of sun, sea, sex, and secrets. Barry DeFlorio was on the job, but his wife... Stop that. Stop what? Humming the words that you're thinking. You don't even realize when you do it. What am I thinking now? Oh, for Pete's sake. It was bad enough raising 3 children in Vermont. Takes a while for me to realize, she said 3. You're so pretty when you're angry, I say, anticipating the look before I get it. Except I don't get it. She doesn't even look at me, right beside her, trying to grab her hand. I think about repeating it, but don't.
Nina Burgess. Bus 42 drove past and didn't even stop, trying to get home before turning back into a pumpkin, I suppose. Except it was 6 o'clock. The curfew started at 7, but this was uptown, so there wasn't any police around to enforce it. Can't imagine them stopping a Mercedes-Benz. The man might turn out to be in the Prime Minister's cabinet. The last bus was a minibus with Irie Heights painted on the side in blue, not red, green and gold. Bigger buses passed too. The green public JOS bus ran by the government. Small buses that I have to crouch to get into and stay crouched the whole ride. Most of them on their way to Bull Bay or Buff Bay, or some other bay, meaning coastline, meaning country. Ari Ites left me behind at 6 p.m. I heard the last bass note at 10:45. It's now 11:15. The buses kept passing, and I kept not taking them. 2 cars pulled up too. Illegal taxis, both of them. Both with 2 in the front seat and 4 in the back, including a man with dollar bills between his fingers shouting, "You want reach Spanish Town, baby?" At first, I thought it was the same car. I stepped back and looked away, long enough for the car to drive off, then did it again. I have finally gone mad. Must be. Waiting outside the gate in the hope that some man will remember having sex with me, and hoping I was most memorable out of all the women he has had sex with, maybe even having sex with this minute. And if he remembered the sex, maybe he would pull some strings and get me and my family out of this country, and hopefully pay for it too. It made so much more sense at 7 in the morning, after I saw my father trying to act like younger men didn't just make him feel like the oldest man in the world. Maybe they didn't rape my mother. Maybe they just hit her, or used something to mess with her pussy and then have him watch them do it. Maybe they said, "No, bitch, you too old for fuck. That dead pussy for Jesus now." Or maybe this is just me at near midnight, standing here in stupid high heels, my feet killing me because I spent all day killing my feet. And all I can do is listen to my mind go crazy. The son of a bitch didn't come out once, not even once. Maybe I have it wrong. Maybe I was memorable, too memorable, and he saw me from a window and sent a message not to let that girl in. Maybe I was a lousy lay, or too good a lay. Something about me that said to him, "Boy, you better stay inside and don't get involved with that one, that Nina Burgess." Maybe he even remembered my name. Or maybe not. My heels and my feet are covered in dust. By around 2 or 3, the pain in my feet moved up to my shins, then my knees, which felt better only because the ache was being shared. At some point, you lose all ache until you realize, maybe an hour later, that you didn't lose the ache at all. It had just spread all over until your whole body becomes ache. Maybe I'm not a mad woman, but I am something. The 2 women who passed me an hour ago knew something. I saw them from, who knows, a mile up the road, when they were moving white dots until they were barely 20 feet from me. 2 dark women in white church dresses and hats. But this is what me telling you, Mavis. No weapon formed against Almighty Jesus shall prosper, the one on the left said. They both looked at me at the same time and went quiet. They didn't even wait until they were past me before one whispered to the other. "It's 10 p.m. I know what they were whispering. "Me just fuck your man for $20, I say. They speed up their walk, trying so hard to get away that the left one nearly trips. Nobody has walked past me since. It's not that Hope Road goes to sleep. Behind me are apartments, and in front is his house. Lights are on everywhere. The people don't go to sleep. They shut themselves off from the road. It's like an entire city turning its back to you, the way those church women did. I think about it. Being a hooker, jumping in the last Benz or Volvo, heading way up Hope Road, to Irish Town maybe. A businessman or a diplomat who lives in New Kingston, who'll rape me because he'll get away with it. If I just stand here under the orange streetlight and lift up my skirt so that the light hits my bush, maybe somebody would stop. I'm hungry and I need to piss. The light in the top room of his house just went out. The night that Kimmy took me here and then left, I didn't plan on sleeping with him. I did want to see him naked, but not like that. I heard he got up every morning at 5 and drove to Bull Bay and bathed in the waterfall. Something about it sounded so holy and so sexy at once. I've been imagining him rising out of the falls, naked because it was early enough. I've been imagining river water being the saddest thing in the world because sooner or later it had to slide off his body. When I saw him out on his balcony, naked, eating fruit, I thought the moon must be sad too, knowing he would soon go inside. Thought is stretching it. I didn't think. Thinking would have stopped me from going out on the balcony. Thinking would have stopped me from taking off my clothes, just in case me clothed and him naked would have made him self-conscious, as if he had a self-conscious bone in his entire body. He said, "Me know you," which might have been true. A woman likes being remembered, I guess. Or maybe he just knows how to make a woman feel like she was missed. After the music stopped, a few people left. It was the first time that gate opened. Couple cars, one Jeep, not his truck. He was still there. Him and probably half the band too. I thought about running in, taking off the heels and sprinting fast enough that the guards wouldn't have caught me until I was inside. By the time they grabbed me, they would see that I was brown and leave me alone, and I would shout his name and he would come downstairs. But I stayed on my side of the road, by the street light and bus stop. A light from a room on the right just went out. My father keeps saying that nobody is going to drive him out of his own country. But some months before the attack, he sat me down in the kitchen and read me an article in the Gleaner. I was visiting and didn't plan to stay long. He wouldn't let me read it myself. He had to hear himself tell me. The article was called "If He Fails," he being the Prime Minister. "Daddy, that article was from January. You hold on to it all this time?" I said. My mother then told me he reads it every week. That would be 47 times so far. The light in a room downstairs left goes off. There's a curfew, and I'm not supposed to be out here. I have no explanation for the police should a car pass by. I have no explanation for myself. Kimmy was home when he read the article to me. This was the second time for her, and she was not going to sit down to hear no CIA Samfi bullshit. Not before hissing, yawning, and groaning like she was 6 years old and we had to sit through adult church. "This is just JLP right-wing propaganda," she said before he finished the last sentence. "Total propaganda. How can you have a JLP chairman writing an article like him as a journalist? It's just more politics and same-fi blood clot business this. What about free education for everybody all the way up to bachelor's degree? What about the Equal Rights for Women Act? What about all those backside companies who now at least have to pay a fee before they rape us?" My mother gave her the "that is not how I brought you up" look. Me? I was just happy that she didn't show up with Ross Trent, bass player and African herbsman, otherwise known as the son of the Minister of Tourism. My mother called him an item, even though he called Kimmy the Babylon princess to her face. Even though, as the minister's son, he would reach 30 before visiting all the rooms in his father's 4 houses. But Kimmy needed that somebody who could knock her off whatever platform Daddy placed her, so that she could make a new daddy out of him. And as I said, Che Guevara was dead. Mummy, who never takes a side in the discussion, much less talk, said that she was thinking that we needed a home guard. The Prime Minister himself had been talking about it. What with the crime rate skyrocketing and the people having to take it on themselves to shoulder the burden of safety. The three of us never agree on anything, but we all looked at her like she was mad. In fact, that's just what she said. Don't you all look at me like me mad? My father said there was no way he hiring no Tonton Macoute in him own country. He asked me what I thought. Kimmy looked at me as if our relationship would hinge on anything that came out of my mouth. When I said that I don't think anything, they were both disappointed. I prefer to remember than to think. If I think, sooner or later I'm going to have to ask myself questions. Like, why did I sleep with him? And why did I run when it was over? And why am I out here now? And why did I stay out here all day? And what does it say that I can pass the entire day doing nothing? If it means I'm one of those girls that serve no damn purpose. The thing about staying out here all day, the really scary part of this, is just how easy it is. My mother sings, "One day at a time, sweet Jesus." And even Daddy likes to say that, one day at a time, as if it's some strategy for living. And yet the quickest way to not live at all is to take life one day at a time. It's the way I've discovered to not do a damn thing. If you can break a day down into quarters, then hours, then half hours, then minutes, you can chew down any stretch of time to bite size. It's like dealing with losing a man. If you can bear it for 1 minute, then you can swallow 2, then 5, then another 5, and on and on. If I don't want to think about my life, I don't have to think about life at all. Just hold for 1 minute, then 2, then 5, then another 5. Before you know it, a month can pass and you don't even notice because you've only been counting minutes. I'm outside his house counting minutes, not even realizing that an entire day just ran away from me. Just like that. The light in the room top left just went back on. The thing I should have said, the thing I wanted to say, is that it's not the crime that bothers me. I mean, it bothers me like it bothers anybody. Like how inflation bothers me. I don't really experience it, but I know it's affecting me. It's not the actual crime that makes me want to leave. It's the possibility that it can happen any time, any second now, even in the next minute. That it might never happen at all. But I'll think it will happen any second now for the next 10 years. Even if it never comes. The point is, I'll be waiting for it. And the wait is just as bad because you can't do anything else in Jamaica but wait for something to happen to you. This applies to good stuff too. It never happens. All you have is the waiting for it. Waiting. The son of a bitch didn't even come out to his veranda. But should he come out right now? What? I don't know if I could move. I don't know if I could run across the street and shout from his gate. My dirty feet are telling me that I've been waiting for so long that wait is all there is. The one time I didn't wait was when I saw him on the back balcony. I didn't wait afterwards either. I thought about telling Kimmy. She wouldn't have expected it of me, which is why I wanted to tell her that I got closer to Che Guevara than she ever would, the Babylon princess. Across the road, but a good 50 feet or so from the gate, a car just pulled up. A white sports car that I didn't even see coming. I didn't see the man either, jumping off the wall on my side off the road and walking over to the car. I clutched my bag even though he was already in the car. I don't know how long he was there. standing by the wall in the dark, only a few feet away from me, watching. I didn't even see him or hear him. He could have been there for hours too, watching me all this time. The white car turned into his driveway and stopped at the gate. I'm pretty sure it's a Datsun. The driver got out, and I can't tell if he's light or dark, but he's wearing a white merino. He walks to the side of the gate, to talk to security, I guess. When he turned to get back in the car, his eyes flashed. Glasses. I watched the car drive off. I need to leave. Not just Jamaica, but this place, right now. I need to run. So I do. The house doesn't look at me, but shadows do. Up the road and down. Shadows moving like people. Men maybe. Men change at 11 when there's some defenseless woman around. Part of me is thinking that this is bullshit, and maybe I just need something to get frightened over. My high school teacher used to warn us not to dress like sluts and fear rape all the time. We wrote a note in left-hand writing with crayon one day and slipped it in her desk drawer. It was months before she found it and read, "As if even a blind man would rape," before she realized she was reading out loud. Running is relative. In high heels, you can only skip real fast, barely bending your knee. I don't know how long I've been skipping, but I can hear my feet tap, tap, tapping, and my head decides to laugh at how stupid I must look, and Wee Willie Winkle runs through the town, upstairs, downstairs, in his nightgown, jumps into my head, and stays there, tapping at the window, crying to the lock. Are the children in their beds? It's now 8 o'clock. Wee Willie, chorus clat. Broke a heel, and the damn shoes was not cheap. Shit, Ross. Then hi. What is that pan wee? Coolie duppy? It had the prettiest coolie duppy I ever see. Here's where you come from, little girl. Did you just perpetrate a crime? Maybe she about to bring her gun into play. Police. Fucking police in their fucking police voice. I made it as far down as the Waterloo Road intersection. Devon House, looking like a haunted mansion, is to the left. The traffic light just went green, but 3 police cars blocked the road. 6 policemen leaning against the cars. Some have a red seam down their pants, some have blue. Yo, lady, you know say we in a curfew? Me did have to work late, officer, and lose track of time. Time not the only thing you lose. One of your foot longer than one, or you break a heel. What? Oh, charas clat. Sorry, officer. They all laugh. Police in their fucking police voice. You see any bus or taxi running? How you was gonna get home? You his was going walk? I don't know. Yes, you better get in the car. I can reach home, I say. I want to say that neither in, any, or is spelt with an H, but they can probably pick up when a woman is being rude. Where his home? The next block? Havendale. Police and the police laugh. No bus coming past here for the rest of the night. You going walk? Yes. With one eel? Yes. In a curfew. You know what sort of man on the street with you this time of night, lady? You the only woman who don't watch news come night time. Scum of the earth upon the street. Which one of them words you can't spell? You was just being a damn idiot. Better you did stay at work till morning when the bus start run. Get in the car. I don't need, lady, go in at the blood clot car. You're breaking the law. Either you're going home or you're going to lock up. I get in the car. 2 policemen get in the front, leaving the 2 cars and 4 policemen behind. At the stoplight, a right turn takes you to Havendale. They turn left. Shortcut, they both say.
This is how 10 man turned into 9. 3 nights ago, Matic from Trenchtown tried to light the sea the way the Weeper show him, but he forget how and Weeper wasn't there. A night with no moon and we with no flashlight to show the way to and from the house. Matic thinking he know the freebase and that a spoonful of sea is a spoonful of sea is a spoonful of sea. Matic think that Weeper would leave sea just anywhere, and so he searched the floor, in the corner, inside 2 cupboards near the window, and in the ash of the coal stove near the door. He look, and the other boy start looking too, feeling the sea itch, even though sea don't leave an itch. That is H. Matic find some white, and when the other try to move in for him to share it, he pull out him gun. He use him own lighter and cook powder. He remembered to heat the sea in water and add in the baking soda he see in the cupboard. He smiled like a pro while the other men look at him like a hungry tiger. But Matic forget the rest. He forget the other liquid that Weeper used, the ether. He was also stupid enough to think that Weeper would leave a stash in the house. The sea wouldn't burn. It wouldn't change. No smoke was coming for him to smoke it. So he lick it. Lick the fire-hot spoon so hard that we hear him tongue sizzle. Freebase hit with a quick kick, and the kick takes 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, nothing. Fuck with this, Matic. Then fall front way, him face slamming into the floor with a bomb, and him mouth start to froth. Nobody touch him until Weeper come and laugh and ask if we didn't think it funny that a dirty, nasty shot like this don't have no rat. This is how 9 man become 8. Last night, Josie Wade tell me what we going to do. Renton from Trenchtown say him cut a hit tune, and he not pulling no gun like that boy in the Heptones who in prison when white man put him song in a movie. Him said that him baby mother go to the singer record studio, and they give her money for the baby and her mother and her whole family. And he know that she is just one of more than 100 people that get help from the singer, and what going to happen if that stop. Josie Will said that don't make him better, that make him worse, because all him doing is giving poor people fish to eat, because now that he rich, he don't want nobody else learn how to catch fish for himself. Somehow we received that reasoning, but not Renton from Trenchtown. Weeper take out him gun to shoot the bitch right there so. Josie Will said, no man, listen to the man and understand him reasoning. Then Josie Will said that one has to know the factors. We don't know what he mean. So he said kinetic energy, Ke equals mv2/2, where m is mass and v is velocity. Yaw, deformation, fragmentation, bleeding, hypovolemic shock, exsanguination, hypoxia, pneumothorax, heart failure and brain damage. Bang! Him skull stopped the bullet, but blood still splash on Weeper chest. Not Mr. Starsky and Hutch t-shirt, Weeper say as the man body fall, and he wipe brains off him chest. Josie Wales put the gun back in him holster. This is how the white man teach we how to load an M16A1, an M16A2, and an M16A4. Point the rifle muzzle in a safe direction. Cock the rifle and open the bolt. Return the charging handle to the forward position. Place the selector lever on safe. Check the chamber to ensure it is clear. Insert the magazine, pushing it upward until the magazine catch engages and holds the magazine. Tap upward on the bottom of the magazine to ensure it is seated. Depress the upper portion of the bolt catch to release the bolt. Tap the forward assist to ensure that the bolt is fully forward and locked. You won't need to put it back on safe. This is what you get when you have man from jungle. Them hot for the sea, so they freebase thanks to Weeper. Josie Wales leave we, but one that anybody leave him get shot. And we remember that they used to call him Bye-Bye. As he and Weeper close the door, they lock it, and we hear a click. The house getting smaller and hotter, and I think about the guard are going to kill, the police, the Babylon. 7 man, 21 gun, 840 bullet. I think of one man and one man only, and is not the singer. I think of him running into a wall and bawling high voice like a little girl. I think of him saying, "It's not me you come for. Who you come for downstairs, because he must be a pussyhole like that." I think about man who cheat and get away, and man whose luck run out. I look at him and say, this is what death going to look like.
Sir Arthur George Jennings. And now we are in the time of dying. The year surrenders in 3 weeks. Gone the season of wet, hot summer, 96 degrees in the shade. May and October rains that swelled rivers, killed cows, and spread sickness. Men growing fat on pork, boys' bellies swelling with poison. 14 men lost in the bush while bodies explode, 3, 4, 5. Many more will have to suffer. Many more will have to die. I stole those words from a living man who already has death walking with him, killing him from the toe up. I look down on my hands and see my story. A hotel on the south coast, a future my country could taste. Sleepwalking, they said when they found me. And so they built a picture from hearsay of my 2 hands held out in front and stiff like Frankenstein, my eyes closed, my legs stomping in a communist march over the banister. 3, 2, 1. They found me naked, my eyes alert but washed of their brown, my neck floppy, and the back of my skull smashed, my penis at attention, something the hotel workers saw first. Hidden in my blood was dirt from a man's push. There are things about death that the dead cannot tell you. The vulgarity of it. Death changes where you die into a room where the body shames itself. Death makes you cough, piss, death makes you shit, death makes you stink from inside vapors. My body rots, but my nails still grow into claws as I see and wait. I heard that a rich man in America, a man with money and power written in his name, died inside a woman that was not his wife. An enormous boat of a man, crushing the woman with his dead weight. A man who was burned 18 hours later by his wife because she couldn't bear to smell another woman on his body. I was inside a woman whose name I cannot remember, but she stopped me, complaining of thirst. But there's wine right here. Can you get some ice? Who puts ice in wine? I do, and there are other things I'll do too, if only you'll get some ice. I run out naked and giggling. It's 5 a.m. Tiptoe down the corridor like Wee Willie Winkle. The dead have a smell, but so does the killer. My death took 2, one to demand it, and the other to make it so. Before I flew over the banister, there was lemongrass and wet dirt, the crunch of a footstep on floors clean as mirrors. I am in the house of the man that killed me. I have never smelled myself on his hands, just the linger of old death. Not a stench, but the memory of it, the iron tinge in the blood of stale kill, the sweet stinking lure of a body dead 5 days. In the world of the living, he is a mature man now, not caring that he smells like he stumbled upon somebody else's money, like expensive suits that used to belong to somebody else. Except he is not wearing a suit. I was naked when they found me, and he is naked as I find him. His belly is rounder. His back ripples fat as he thrusts up and down, and he'll have to die at the back of his head again. His body hits hers in a sweaty slap, slap, slap. He grunts on top of her, the first runner-up he married. The white bed is a whirlpool. She notices that he is not stopping and taps him on the shoulder. His head is in the pillow, but he's holding her down. She's in jail, then knows it, so she taps him again. He grunts and she pushes him. You know I don't want to get pregnant, you son of a bitch. He plops his weight on her until he comes and blows his breath all out in the room. Jamaicans need to know that them leaders can work it, he says. It's the first time in years that I'm hearing his voice, except it's not years. I'm stunned that it hasn't changed, still sounding improper even when he speaks correctly. I am in the wrong place, and so is she. She is the first runner-up he married when he failed to get the Miss Jamaica. Her father wanted her to marry full white. Dry shit come of me, Batty, before me make some Syrian with a Lebanese haberdashery marry my blood-cloth daughter, he said. The woman whom I was inside, I cannot remember her name. I never see her. Not that I would know where to look. Maybe there was love, but ghosts haunt out of longing, and I have no longing. Maybe it was not love, or maybe I am not a ghost, or maybe my longing isn't for her. Who asks for ice in wine? Did she know that he was outside the door waiting on me? Someone called me a mangled spider with a cock on top. Not one of the hotel staff. They would have no knowledge of words like mangled. Maybe someone who was already happy to see me gone. I have no memory of his face. The first runner-up pushes him off and hisses, "It's a good thing I didn't forget the foam. Don't you know?" He pants the rest of it out. That birth control is a plot to kill black people. And laughs. He rolls over and plays with himself. I want to slip inside him, to pretend that I would feel what he feels, but even at the foot of this bed I smell over 100 dead men. A glass shatters and they both jump. Her nightie had been pulled over her breast, so she pulls it down. "You and that fucking cat," he says, and gets up. I watch his belly settle itself, and his cheeks go sallow. Not even this, not even sex, ruffles his hair, packed tight like the Tin Man. He makes me miss living, swinging, sagging. The bedroom has furniture she picked out, with knobs and curves and carvings of grapevines. A mosquito net hangs from the ceiling. A television hides in the corner. The door to the bathroom open, but the doorway dark. He always thought that men who had any sense of style or beauty were perverts. I remember him saying this about another party member as he drove away. I never shared his hate, because I saw Noel Coward every summer and called him uncle. He and his traveling companion. The man who had me killed reaches for his gun, lying in wait on the bedside table, and leaves his pants on the floor. The first runner-up points to the pants, and he makes a joke about never dressing up just to meet loose pussy as he goes through the door. I want to stay with her for a while, curious about how she regains a peace in herself, but I follow him. In the living room is a man I can't remember if I know. The living room is a cemetery, rank with dead smell. Some of it coming from the man. He is black one second, a hint of Chinaman the next. Or maybe he shifts with shadow. I can already smell how he dies. He is coughing in a glass, saying, "Me did think this was water." You don't know what white rum bottle look like, or you can't spell rum. Smell? I gulp before I smell. Spell. S-P-E-L-L. Oh, hearing not too good. Too much pow pow pow, you know? How the rascloth you mistake that for water. I don't know. Water that come in a special bottle sounds like rich people things. Ratid, brethren, is so you gallivant about the place? You expecting modesty in me own house, or you seeing something you never see before? Ah, this is how rich people chuck it. Poor people wash them buddy by standpipe, and you want to turn this into a class issue? How the blood cloth you get in me house? Walk through the front door. How you? Enough with how. How? The woman whom I was... He is black one second, a hint of China. Brethren, is so you gallivant about the place? You expecting modesty in me own house, or you seeing something you never see before? Ah, this is how rich people chuck it. Poor people wash them buddy by standpipe, and you want to turn this into a class issue? How the blood cloth you get in me house? Walk through the front door. How you? Enough with how. How you ask how so much? You rather why? Okay, make we talk about why. Why the blood cloth you in me house at, hold on, 3 in the morning? What we say about you and me not to seen together in public? Never know that you bedroom public. How the mistress? Sound like she was doing good just a while ago. Real good. Man, what you want? You know what day today is? I go with December 3rd. That is the day that followed December 2nd. Aye, enough with your no manners. You better know who you talking to. No, you better fucking remember who you talking to. Come into my house like some pussycloth house rat. You lucky rawhide on leave tonight, or you would be dead already, you hear me? Dead. Good thing for me, then. I going back to bed. Leave the way you came. I was doing some thinking. Don't hurt yourself. What? You were thinking. I need some money. You need some money. After tomorrow. Tomorrow's already today. After later. I told you already that I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know about it, I don't endorse it, and I don't even know you that well. Papa Lowe is the only man down there I know. Down there? Down there? Is down there you call it now? Artie Jennings never talked like you. You and Arthur talk good, 'cause I have it on good authority that he not talking much these days. The first runner-up steps into the room wearing the bedsheet. Peter, what is all the commotion? And oh my God! Jesus Christ, bitch, stop you screaming and go back to bed. Not every nigger is thief. Well, in this case, maybe your wife a little correct. Peter? Go to bed. What a slam. Me think the house just shake. Pum pum lock off for the rest of the night? You learned about woman the same place you learned about gun. She slammed the door so that we won't think she's still there listening. I said she slammed the door so that we won't think she's still there listening. Now she gone. You's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. This day done right down. Nothing you can change about it now. Even if you did want, I tell you already, I don't know what you're talking about. And I certainly don't know what you're talking about needing money when you same Josie Wales fly to Miami only 2 weeks ago. But you know how I know you don't need no fucking money? You fly up for just the day. Come back, 7 o'clock? That was a little business. Nothing little about you. Or your other little trip to the Bahamas. Every man who about him business in this country have a fucking secret. The singer meeting with Papa Lowe and Shata Sheriff same time. Tell me something I don't know. Papa Lowe planned to meet up with Shata Sheriff, talk serious things where nobody can hear them. They both stop eating pork, by the way. Oh, that I didn't know. What the fuck them two up to? Seriously, what could they possibly have to talk about? And what do you mean, they both stop eating pork? They turning Rasta? Is this the singer doing? Is him getting them to talk? You really need help to answer that question? You talk too much fucking step with me, nigger boy. Boy, in your fucking brief. The price gone up. Take that shit to CIA. Rasta don't work for the CIA. And Josie Wales, I don't fucking work for you. Take my foolish advice and use the door. And don't come here again. Me taking the rum. Take 2 glass while you at it and teach yourself some fucking class. Ha ha, you is something else. Even the devil look upon you and go, you is something else. The man leaves, not closing a single door. There is another man I see around these dead lands who I don't know. A dead man who died wrong. A fireman who would have gone in peace had he died in a fire. He is in the room as well. He came in with a man named Josie Wales. He walks around him, walks through him at times, which Wales mistakes for a shiver. He tries to strike, but goes right through him. I used to do that with the man who had me killed. Tried to strike, punch, slap, and cut, and the most I ever did was make him shiver. The rage goes, if not the memory. I would say you live with it, but the irony is a bit too bitter. I know his story too, since he cries it every time. He's crying it now, not seeing that I'm the only person in the room bearing witness. Running to the fire on Orange Street, him fireman number 7. A fire set in a 2-story tenement, the flames a mad snake looping through the windows, 5 children already dead, 2 shot before the fire. He grabs the hose, knowing the water will only sputter, and runs through the gate. His cheek burns on the right, and his temple explodes on the left. The second bullet hits him in the chest. The third grazes the neck of the fireman behind. Now, he follows the man who sent him to be with people like me. Josie Wales leaves through the window. The fireman follows. The day is young, but is already dead.